Today's podcast episode is presented by Podgo. Podgo is the easiest way for you to monetize your podcast, providing podcasters with a flat rate for ad space so you always know how much you get when you include an ad from Podgo. Apply today to become a member and immediately be connected with advertisers that fit your audience. That's podgo.co at podgo.co. And be sure to add our podcast in the How Did You Hear About Podgo section of the application.
Not many in this can understand. This the podcast to show you who I am. Conrad Cushman, the legend in the plans. Please listen every day to the showcase. The opinions and knowledge that anyone can take. Showing you how it is done. Proving I am number one. What a legend becomes. This is now my time to show you that I am here. This podcast just to make it loud and clear. By the fans, for the fans. Not many whose head can understand everything pro wrestling. It can never be you. Listen to the podcast here for the people. The best show that's here, so listen in. Let the knowledge begin. The opinion and the lesson. Yes.
Folks, welcome to Everything Pro Wrestling. Everything Pro Wrestling is a show by the fans for the fans. And I am your host, Conrad Cushman, and we are here today to talk about AEW Dynamite, November 11th, 2020. The show just went off the air. Lots to say about this one, so you guys are going to want to make sure you are tuned in, locked in, and let's get ready to start the intro.
Everything pro wrestling, they can never be you. Listen to the podcast here for the people. The best show that's here, so listen in. Let the knowledge begin. The opinion and the lesson. Yes, everyday pro wrestling, they can never be you.
All right. We are here to talk about AEW Dynamite. We got the live chat in the house. Hopefully everybody is in there getting live. I know YouTube had some technical problems before, so hopefully you guys are all able to make it in. They had some serious issues, like no one could click videos or anything earlier. But happy to have you guys in here. We just had in the house, let's see here, we got to start at the top. We had B-Boy Skyline, who was first in the house tonight. Ace, what's good? BJ in the house, what's up? B-Boy Skyline said Buffalo versus everyone. Oh yeah, my man, oh yeah. He said he liked Brandy tonight. Hood Brandy. We'll get more into that in a second. Heartbreak Kid Rockstar. He said Tay Conti versus Red Velvet was the real main event. Can't believe that good ass promo was wasted tonight on Shaq. We'll talk about that sick. Aunt Peggy McDonald, McDonald. What's going on, Aunt Peggy? Thank you for joining us tonight. I appreciate you. Thought it was 2010 again. Chill. They updated the app and it's booty. I apologize on behalf of YouTube, but it's still number one source. You guys know how it is. Tonight during AEW, got to give a shout out to my wife. We ate some delicious smash burgers for the first time. If you have never ate one of those, it is life altering because I'm talking about it on my podcast. So you guys are definitely going to want to try those smash burgers. Oh, Six said at first when she said giant, I was like, well, that would have been the end of everything if that went down like that, right? I'm happy you guys are in the chat though, man. Thank you, Sick, for joining as well. Let's talk about AEW Dynamite, man. I don't want to make the show go too long tonight. Derek not in the house with us tonight, but shout out to D. I appreciate you guys for being in here, joining us tonight. And I'm about to take a little drink of water here. Been doing a lot of streaming lately, man. Lots of AEW streaming too. They are definitely taking big bites out of the market pie. But let's talk Dynamite. first, we start off with a message. Happy Veterans Day. Happy Veterans Day to all the veterans who watch these videos, who are part of the wrestling community. So let me give it up as well. But Happy Veterans Day comes up on the AEW screen. And we have a new intro for the show. And based on everything I saw from the Facebook group in EPW, a lot of people really liked the show. The intro, I should say, with Dynamite being part of the package that came with it. And they kind of have these lights behind them. It's still the same song, but it just takes a little bit longer to get into. And I thought it was dope. I was happy with the new intro. If you guys have thoughts on that, please let me know. We'll talk about it during that first match. And we get a promo to start off tonight, kind of. We have FTW, Team Taz. It seems like they're going back and forth on these names. I don't know what to call this group, but FTW is the name the announcers called them. Taz comes out, and he is immediately dissing Darby and Cody. He's kind of telling Darby, you better sit your weird ass up in the stands in that chair, because Darby is still doing the Sting thing with the TNT Championship now that he has won the title. If you guys did not see Full Gear, please check out the Full Gear review in the archives 2 videos back. But Darby's in the crowd just still doing his thing. He has not changed at all. He is a classic babyface. Nothing has changed except he has gold around him now. And Taz is out there running him down. He runs down Cody as well. And Brian Cage has a match tonight. The FTW champion has a match, and it's against Matt Sydal, non-title, because the FTW is not a recognized AEW championship. In the beginning of this matchup, Cage was all power. We saw him hitting moves that were supposed to be normal moves and just hitting backbreakers on Matt Sydal. Sydal did get offense in this, and Sydal is the former Evan Bourne from WWE, for those who don't know. Matt Sydal got a lot of offense in this one, more than I thought he would, and he eventually goes for the drill claw, but it gets reversed into a hurricanrana, into a pinfall, and I thought that was really, really dope by Sydal. Sydal off the top rope. When he is jumping off the top rope, he gets caught in midair by Brian Cage into the drill claw or the Steiner screwdriver. 1, 2, 3. Really good match. Like I said, Sydal got a lot of offense in this one, so there's nothing to really complain about or be mad. I thought this was a good match. And the catch in midair is something remarkable. You guys have to go back just to see that ending of the match. I thought it was very well done, in my opinion, in how they did everything. So afterwards, we get Ricky Starks on the mic. Ricky Starks is amazing on the microphone, and he starts just talking his mess too, and they are ready for Cody Rhodes and Darby Allin. So this looks like they're building towards this type of program. More on that in a second. And then the announce team get ready to run down the rest of the card here. Let's see here. BJ said, "What is a smash burger?" My good sir, when this video is done, I want you to look that up. It's going to change your life, bro. It's going to change your life. Ace, what's good, bro? He said, Cody. Let's see here. I got a question. Is Cody Rhodes going away for a while? Malik, I have nothing to think that. I don't know why you would. Sonny Bimbo said, does Shaq get extra large Manscaped products? He probably gets his products using the best promo code in the business, since you mentioned it, Sonny. Sonny, I'm going to give you props for this transition. He uses this promo code, EPW Show, to get 20% off of all of his Manscaped needs. Big Shaq uses it, and I hope you guys use it as well. Shaq, I'm taking this endorsement because Sonny Bimbo threw it to me. It doesn't matter what size you are. Triple XL, double XL, regular XL, or medium. You guys can use the promo code EPW Show to save on the Lawnmower 3.0. You guys can also get the foot duster, the deodorant, and all the accessories that they have, even the cologne, and save 20% off and free delivery when you use my promo code for Once It's Time. And we also have another sweet offer for you guys. Not only do we offer Manscaped, but we offer wrestling, because that's what this show is about. And if you guys go to powerslam.tv, use our promo code EPW Show, and you guys can see 1 month free of independent wrestling on us. Check out some of your favorites. There's some people's names that we're going to be mentioning on here that I probably will bet money on will pop up on powerslam.tv if you guys want to do some research on them. So to me, definitely worth talking about. And I appreciate you guys. And I also have to give a big shout out to the homies, Everything College Basketball, Josh Burton. Appreciate you. And definitely keep the podcast episodes coming. You can find him on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, same places where you can find us. And another wrestling podcast shout out to Jesse from the Pro Wrestling Shoot. You guys hear their ads when you listen to the audio versions, so make sure you guys show them some love as well. But let's get back into the comments here. BJ says, I thought Seidel broke his neck at one point. This match felt like a showcase for him rather than Cage. I agree, BJ. There was lots of offense. Like, I was shocked by what we saw here. Six said Shaq's going to use his Shaq Fu and hit him with a Shaq-a-Rooney. Peace. The Stroke Daddy mentioned. I should have mentioned the Stroke Daddy on that Manscaped ad, right? Heartbreak Kid Rockstar says the only good thing in Buffalo is the Bills. What about me, bro? What about me? And the Bills are crushing it right now, so I will allow it. Josh Allen, AFC Player of the Week. Boom. Six said, sorry for all the Shaq stuff, but I'm heading to bed soon, and that segment really got me. Sonny says, Shaq is going to send you a Shaq-a-Rooney, Papa John's. I hate Papa John's. Worst pizza in the business. I said it. A said, Rockstar. Once they lost Tom Brady, the Patriots went down. Oh, since they lost Tom Brady. Big facts, Ace. Let's get into the next match here, though. Cody Rhodes promo. This is exactly what Sick was just talking about in the chat. Cody comes out and he congratulates Darby on becoming the TNT champion tonight. It was a great match. If you guys didn't see it at Full Gear, definitely worth checking out as well. He congratulates him and he says, right now, at this time, Cody and Arn Anderson are not going to be looking for a rematch against Darby. And he says that we're actually looking to right a wrong of a match that I lost. And I was like, what's he talking about here? And he talks about MJF. Cody seems like he wants to get in the ring with MJF. And what happens? A young lady shows up behind him. This young lady, I had no clue who she was. I believe she's been in the crowd before. And I think Derek's mentioned while we were watching the show, like, who is that? And he couldn't really tell because the camera would cut away at the last second and he would see her kind of in the background. But the young lady is Jade Cargill. And she is out here talking all types of shit to Cody. Letting Cody know just who she is and how he's a giant killer. And she says that there is a giant who wants to step into the ring with him. And then she name drops the name Shaq. Shaquille O'Neal, Shaq Fu, Shaq-a-Rooney, Mr. Papa John's, Mr. TNT Basketball, Shaq. And some people aren't feeling Shaq getting in the ring. Listen, here's my stance. Shaq, if you're going to wrestle, do the match. None of this back and forth, toe dipping stuff. You did this with the Big Show. You've done it with some other people where there were rumors about it. And I'm not saying that it was you doing it every time, but if you're going to wrestle, let's just do it. Do it. Enough talking. Just get in the ring and just do it, man. Do I think him and Cody could have a good match? Absolutely. I think it would be good for TNT as well. Get them on some basketball segments, especially once basketball starts back up. And I think AEW really wants to have one of those celebrity matchups on a Dynamite. I think it would be something really good for a Dynamite show. Build up some intrigue, interest, and maybe get some crossover basketball fans to watch it. I'm a huge basketball fan and a wrestling fan at the same time. So to me, I think this is a win-win. And maybe you bring back some of those older fans who used to watch Nitro and stuff, and Dynamite can reinvigorate the scene. That's just how I see it. BJ said, I want to see a Shaq Steiner. Full Gear was the best pay-per-view of 2020. Big stuff, Rockstar. I know she is Storm. Thank you, B-Boy Skyline. I was going to mention that at the end. She's live action Storm from X-Men. Yeah, absolutely. Listen, I know her from her workout videos and stuff on Instagram, like modeling pictures, I should say, on Instagram. I've seen her before. Six said, man, Shaq versus Cody is gonna be the stiffest, clunkiest match ever. I can't wait. I kind of laughed when Brandy went hood rat. Let's get into that a little bit here. So Brandy comes out, and Brandy cut the promo of her life tonight. Like, I thought this was very well done for her. Brandy is out there, and she is just cutting through this chick, and she was like, the next time you talk to my man, blah, 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 she was going off. She said shit, and they completely missed the censor on it, which I think they did on purpose. Brandy was ready to go off on her, and she basically just cussed this chick out, and this ended up leading to Cody getting jumped by Brian Cage and Absolute Ricky Starks. It was a setup. During all of that, Darby Allin's music hits, and here comes Darby running down the arena stairs. Darby, you should sit a little bit closer if you're going to do a run-in, bro. He's coming all the way down the stairs. He gets into the ring, and he has on a jacket with spikes or thumbtacks on him, and he is running into Ricky Starks when he first gets in. He even gets Cage once he's in the corner and just goes back first into him, and it looks like Cage is just trying to clean himself up, and Taz tells him, hey, back off here, back off. And then Cody's music plays, which I think it should have been Darby's music that played, because Darby's the one who made the save, and that's who the focus was on, in my opinion, at the end. Something small. And then Will Hobbs comes out all late and shit with the steel chair. I was like, Will, where were you like 2 minutes ago? But maybe he couldn't get there. He's a big fella. So I'm going to give you the pass on this one, Will Hobbs. But they had a lot of stuff going on here, and I think they wanted to remind you Will Hobbs is still on the show. And I think they're just trying to squeeze as many people who fit into these storylines into the spot, because they're still waiting on that second show that's going to be coming that's going to be 1 hour long. Cool. I can live with that. Now, as far as what else happened during this, nothing else. That was the end of it once Will Hobbs came out. But props to Brandy. Brandy really shined in the segment. I think Darby Allin is a star with the TNT Championship. Don't forget about Will Hobbs. Cody did a great job with an intriguing promo. I think everyone just played their part. And Jade Cargill, Storm, whatever you want to call her, I think she did a good job delivering her lines. She didn't look too goofy in there. Like, I was waiting for her to back into the ropes and like get nervous or go up the stairs and get nervous, but she did a good job. So props to everyone involved in this. And if Shaq's wrestling, this better be serious, and you better just do it. Don't play all these games, whatever else you're gonna do with it. Good match. Shaq's got a better chance at making a free throw shot. Chill, sick. Can we talk about hood rat mode? You guys are going crazy. Thumbtack so no one can jump him. Sean Harrington said, I think it'll be Shaq and Storm versus whatever her name was, versus Cody and Brandy. What's going on, Sean? Thank you for joining us. That wouldn't be a bad match either to try to save this. But if you're gonna have two people, I don't know if I'm still going to call her Jade Cargill because that's how she was introduced. If Jade Cargill has been training wrestling, has been training as a wrestler, cool. If she hasn't, this is going to be real difficult because Brandy in the ring, in my opinion, it's not the hottest stuff, but the promo game was good tonight. So maybe being in there with Cody will help her too. I don't know. I'm interested. If they're involved, cool. If it's Cody and Shaq, cool. Like, I want to see this. Like I said, not pay-per-view. I'm not paying $50 to see this. Dynamite. Thumbtacks. Was it anything hood about Brandy's promo? If it was a problem, she would have just hit her. Chill, Rob. Come on. The Brandy hate's got to stop here. Will Hobbs was late on purpose once again. He hasn't made his choice and has yet to actually touch Team Taz. Good point. Good point. Did AEW get new graphics? Yes, they did, Rockstar. Looks like AEW got a new intro. They did. I mentioned that right in the beginning of this. I think it looks good. I think it looks sleek. And I like when they update the graphics and things like that. It's been a year. Update that stuff. Beautiful. Moving on. Or maybe Sean Harrington says, or maybe if Will Hobbs turns heel, maybe him managed by the Jade Cargill and getting Shaq as backup could work. Cody, Darby, and Brandy. Maybe. Maybe you could do that as well. Alex Marvez is backstage next up with Jon Moxley. Moxley cuts a promo on Kenny Omega, basically putting him over as the best wrestler in the world. And Moxley brings up the fact that he has beaten Kenny Omega before, and he's got to prepare for this challenge again because he knows Kenny is no walk in the park. I'm sub-phrasing, but Moxley did a great job putting over Kenny Omega in this promo. Moxley versus Omega is then announced for the December 2nd show. I am happy because my vacation week is going to be that week. So you guys will, if it's going to be like a stacked Dynamite, I will be covering that one and I will be live for that bad boy. But Moxley versus Omega December 2nd, sounds amazing. I'm happy to see it. Not mad at all for what we're gonna get for that. Yeah, I'm just looking forward to it, and we'll talk more about what Kenny has to say about this because he does respond eventually. Let me see. Rob says, "How the f is that hate? Didn't say it was a bad or good promo." Listen, you buried her, man. All right, look, if she would have hit her, that would have ruined. That would have been the end of this promo. That would have been the end of the feud. You know, in wrestling, they gotta talk. Cut it out. Cut it out. I missed the intro. Cool to check out next. Yeah, you guys are definitely gonna want to go back and check it out. If you didn't see the new intro tonight, I think it's cool. It's just something small. It's not a major detail. It's just something minute. But let's talk about this bunkhouse match, if you will. We had ourselves a good old-fashioned bunkhouse brawl. We had the Butcher, the Blade with the Bunny versus the Natural Nightmares. This is what I've been building up to with this entire feud. The Bunny randomly left the Butcher and the Blade and went over to QT Marshall. QT was tricking on her, doing whatever he had to do. And eventually, the Bunny came back to the Butcher and Blade because Eddie Kingston told the Blade to go handle his business. There's a lot of behind the scenes here. Blade pulled her to the side and was like, "Yo, baby, I'm back. I'm still from Buffalo. You know what time it is. Get back with me." The Bunny's like, "Oh, yeah, we definitely got to get with the Buffalo guy." Goes back to her, man, and it's the Butcher, Blade, and Bunny once again, and she tells QT she maxed out the credit cards. JR's calling her a Jezebel. This is all the stuff that we expected to happen with this, and I was telling you guys that this was going to probably lead to a match, and this is the match. In this bunkhouse match, it was basically anything goes. Pinfall or submission has to occur in the ring, but anything goes in the Daily's Place arena for this one. Yo, these guys went in on this match. If you guys did not see this, I thought this was a fun matchup here. So the Butcher and the Blade are in there, and this is a fight right from the beginning. We see a guitar shot to QT Marshall. Listen, broke 1,000 guitars, drew 0 dimes. The Blade busted this man upside his head with that guitar. Perfect shot. I even like the smoke that came from it. I don't know if they got tips from New Jack on how to do that, but it worked. It really did for this one. So the guitar shot gets QT, and we'll get into it. There were chairs in this, haystacks, bull rope, cowbell, ladders, handcuffs, more cowbell, please. We had everything in here. More cowbell, if I didn't mention it. Dustin eventually gets handcuffed onto the corner. I missed how he gets out of the handcuffs, but eventually he does. QT Marshall is bleeding like a gusher, bro. He got dropped. I don't know what happened to him. It was that guitar shot. He came up bleeding like it was an NWA match. Eventually in this matchup, the Blade is bleeding crazy. Dustin and the Butcher go all the way up to the top of the platform. They're brawling. A bulldog off of the top through a wooden crate, and BJ is going to get full credit for this. BJ mentioned it, that they must have heard his complaints when we did the AEW Full Gear Roundtable about them using props made out of cardboard. So this time they used some plywood, and guess what? It worked. I love this. Minus going through some hay. No one's bulldogging me onto some hay if I'm a wrestler, damn it. Fun. And Dustin is perfect in these kinds of matches. And I felt weird because to me, Dustin seems like he would be the bleeder out of the two in this matchup. Like, you would expect Dustin to be the one who's crimson red and he's just bleeding all over the place. Not this time. This time it was QT, and I think it upped QT's toughness. And the Blade was bleeding really bad. Try saying that friggin' 3 times. The Blade was bleeding really bad as well in this one. Damn. And you know what? That's staying in too, by the way. I'm not editing that out because that was hard to say. The Blade is jacked up in this. QT eventually brings in a 12-foot ladder. He goes to the top rope. He has that Shawn Michaels moment. He hits that beautiful elbow off the top, and he comes right down onto him. A save is then made. Wonderful. Steel chairs are brought in. We see the full Blade hit. That is the Butcher and Blade's tag team finisher on the chair setup. So there were 4 chairs, 2 on each side, set up like this, right through the chairs. 1, 2, QT makes the save for Dustin after that count. Diamond cutter. Allie almost gets hit with a chair. She's like, no, 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 no. We get the classic Triple H Stephanie spot. Boom, backs into Allie. Allie goes through a table. JR's like, that Jezebel got what she deserved. And he turns around and right into another diamond cutter after a cowbell shot from Dustin. 1, 2, 3. The diamond cutter puts down the blade. QT gets the win for his team. And it was a classic, like, you know, that Southern wrestling matchup that you want. Dustin had the cowboy boots on. It was just too good. I really enjoyed that matchup. I don't know if this feud is over yet, but I thought this was a really good matchup, and I like the fact that they gave QT and Dustin the win here. I could see more from these teams going back and forth, and the Butcher and Blade excel in these kind of like anything goes street fight matches. I'm sure they don't want me to say that because they don't want to be in a lot of these, but when they're in them, they're good. Let's see here. This match overachieved far better than I expected. It's just powder in the guitar. Yeah, no, but I said that I haven't seen anybody use that in a while, so they must have saw New Jax. New Jax was probably Coke. Disrespect, Sean. Disrespect. This match was a real Extreme Rules match, Rockstar says. I'll take the cardboard over the lame crash pads WWE uses. Bladed hardcore. Yeah, I agree. Not paying to see a 7 foot, 50-year-old man with bad knees miss his spots. In reference to Shaq before. At Rockstar, QT was being a simp. Peace, Rob. QT is going to need some DDP yoga after that elbow drop. That was a good elbow, though. It was nice. Like, him and Joey Janela have hit 2 of the best elbow drops I've seen, I think, in AEW. Joey Janela looked like he was Shawn Michaels with the long hair when he first hit his on Moxley. I'm happy for this one. I like it. This was a good match. Like you guys said, overachieved. I don't know. I think I expected this from these two teams. I think that we know how good they are. And I wouldn't be surprised. I've said this before. I think the Butcher and Blade are going to beat the tag team champions one day. And it's going to kind of be like one of those, yo, how did this happen? They're going to be like that shocking team that gets the tag titles one time. I'm calling it. I just have that feeling for them because they've put on some really, really good matches. Let's see here. Sean just said the feud likely over as Butcher and Blade are about to join Eddie's new feud. Probably. They kind of covered that. But I think you can go back to this too and maybe make a 6-man match out of it if you wanted to. Moxley's looking like HBK if he never went Christian and kept, yo, peace. We got to chill. Chill with those references, boys. Got to keep those out of the chat now. We got to be respectful to the wrestlers. No, I wouldn't say that about Moxley. I think Moxley's dope, man. He's got a unique look. I've always appreciated him. And honestly, I think Moxley's title should be the workhorse right now for AEW. He puts on great matches every time, solid to great matches, and he does his job, man. The dude is a beast. So much respect to Jon Moxley, the AEW champion. Next up, we got to talk about this prick. MJF's Inner Circle introduction. MJF beat Chris Jericho at Full Gear, so he is being allowed in the Inner Circle. I think we all saw this coming. Jericho is out at first. The fans are loving Jericho's theme still, singing it all the way out. And Jericho introduces MJF and Wardlow, calling them members of the Inner Circle. And here comes everyone. Oh, excuse me. Before he introduces them, Inner Circle comes out. Everyone but Sammy. So Hager's out there and P&P come out with him. But no Sammy Guevara. The Spanish God. Had to say it once for Derek. No Sammy. MJF and Wardlow come out after Jericho introduces them. And MJF comes out and says he wrote a poem for everyone. I'm not reciting Drake lines on here. All right. But he definitely bit off of Drake. He's not a biter, he's a writer. And he bites the Drake lines coming off as poetry. And they're like, yo, bro, that's from Drake. You don't think we know this? And he was like, listen, guys, I don't know who Drake even is. And then the next line is, I started from the bottom, now we're here. Seriously, MJF? That got me to laugh, though, because he did it right after they said that. Ortiz does not want MJF in the Inner Circle. He makes that very clear to Jericho. He does not trust this dude. And afterwards, MJF completely takes the focus off of him as he's doing his poem and everything else and says, hey, it's Chris Jericho's birthday, which it is. I think it was yesterday or maybe Monday. I can't remember. But Jericho's 50 years old now. And he gets everyone to sing happy birthday to Chris Jericho. And then at the end of this promo, he says, guys, I have another surprise for you. Next week, we're all going to Las Vegas. And he passes out the tickets to go to Vegas. So the Inner Circle are on their way to Las Vegas. Prayers for whatever they do with this next week. I'm pretty sure those casinos are going to be empty over there. Just how I'm feeling. Not Moxley, sorry, I meant the bad boy. Oh, he meant Joey Janela. We're vicious in here tonight. The claws are out. It started because of that Shaq stuff, sick. I'm telling you. You guys are tripping. MJF is better than Drake. Whoa, do right and kill everything. B-Boy Skyline, chill. Let's see here. Sean Harrington, the crowd keeps failing at singing Jericho, singing the chorus twice. Jericho even clowned the crowd on his Facebook Live over it, that it bothers him when they forget to sing the chorus twice. I love MJF's line with his dad only gave him a cool mill and he had to struggle and rough it alone. Yeah, I bet. MJF, prick. But he says he's taking all of them to Vegas. More on that in a second. The PS5 and Xbox Series X are already having problems. Rockstar, are you surprised by this? I'm not. Not at all. So, FTR Young Bucks. They showed the highlights from this tag team match. The Lakers Celtics colors, beautiful. We're probably going to get a rematch for this. Round 2 has to happen. I thought this was fun. I loved the tag match. I gave it an A+ on the Full Gear review. Check it out. And if you have not seen this match, I cannot do it justice. I think this is going to be a contender for match of the year. Will it win? I don't know. That depends on your taste. Once we set up the voting things, me and Rob are probably going to do that really soon, actually. And it's going to be interesting. We'll have to see what we can do with that. But we'll more on that on match of the year contendership later. We find out next week the Young Bucks are putting out a challenge to a new tag team. They're about giving chances since they're the new top guys. Disrespect, but probably going to lead to another match. Top Flight. This tag team is simply amazing. If you guys have not seen them on AEW Dark, you guys will appreciate them. And I'm going to pull them up real quick on my phone here. Top Flight is a great tag team that I don't think a lot of people are really ready for when they get in the ring with the Young Bucks. This match is going to be high flying, and if you guys have ever seen like what they've done in MLW or any of the other places, it's going to be dope, man. Airwolf is one of the people on the team. It's going to be dope. Just trust me. Just go into this with low expectations, and I think you guys will be surprised, especially if you don't watch Dark. But Young Bucks versus Top Flight next week. It's announced. I know a lot of people thought it was happening tonight. Good stuff. Good stuff by all for this. Let's see. Top Flight security of the world, Craig. Chill. We got Friday references in here now. We got it all. BJ said, I think FTR is going to take the tour, is going to take a tour for a few months. Why not? Go to the NWA, go to Japan, do what you want to do, man. I think this is their opportunity to go and be great wherever they go. Sean Harrington said they were on Dark and they were impressive, so he seems to agree. Let's get into the match we were supposed to get not too long ago. It got canceled, but it's back on tonight. Shawn Spears with Tully versus Scorpio Sky. Scorpio Sky starts off this match really good. He's doing some impressive movesets, getting into this matchup, and Scorpio Sky misses a second rope dropkick, and that's where the tide began to turn a little bit. These guys are brawling. It leads to Scorpio Sky hitting the Mick Foley / Cactus Jack double clothesline over the top rope. The steel steps were moved earlier in the match, so they're set up kind of to where you can jump off of it. Spears goes to Irish Whip Scorpio Sky. He clears the stairs, runs up them, and meets Spears at the top of the steps with a punch. Spears goes down. He then goes off of the stairs, tries to jump on him. Spears hits a super kick that doesn't really connect in the face, hits him more so in the shoulder. But he sold it right. Scorpio Sky sold his arm more than his face. And after that, this is where things get interesting because he hits a back body drop onto the steel steps and leaves a dent of Scorpio Sky's back on there. They get back in the ring. It leads to kind of a back and forth brawl. Eventually, Scorpio Sky gets the upper hand and he goes for a sharpshooter, scorpion deathlock, whatever you want to call this move. The Scorpio shooter, he goes in and he locks it in. Peep game. Tully Blanchard is still out there. Tully Blanchard then makes his way over to the corner where Scorpio Sky is not facing. And he looks and Shawn Spears can see what he's doing and he sets up kind of a blanket over it. And the referee has been constantly checking the glove Spears wears in the ring to make sure that it's not loaded. And he sets up something over in the corner as he locks on the Scorpion Deathlock, and he knows what time it is. Then he goes back to his position yelling at the referee. He gets up on the apron and he slides something into the ring. This distracts Scorpio Sky. As the rope break is happening, Spears is then going over to the corner to get the slug, put it in his glove, and Sky sees the slug and he throws it into the crowd away from Tully. And when he turns around, boom, he gets caught right across the face and he is hit with the steel slug, the loaded glove. 1, 2, 3. Shawn Spears gets the biggest win of his AEW career here on Dynamite by beating Scorpio Sky. Big win for Spears. I thought this match was a little bit better than what I was expecting. I thought Tully, what he did there, Tully played a big part in the finish, and I like it. He really helped elevate this match. I like that the heel manager was cunning in this one. Like, oh, I'm going to set this up, put something over so the ref can't tell what it is. Slide to Scorpio. Scorpio's not going to take the bait, but that was enough time to distract him fully so that when he turned around, he got met with the steel slug to the head. Not bad. Not bad at all. Let's see. Both FTR and Good Bros are going to World Tag League. Sean Harrington says that would be dope. BJ says, I really like Sky and Spears, but this felt like it did nothing for either one. Both deserve the push, but I need more for them and from them. BJ, I think it's tough, though. You got one show. These guys have been out, too. So you got to take partial blame of that too. I mean, it's not their fault what's happening, but you can't push something that's not on television every week too. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that fully. I like Sky in that role. I don't know how I feel about Spears yet. I feel like they're trying to push him, and I want to see what is the purpose of this push and if it's going to lead to a group or whatever this is supposedly going to be. We've been waiting a long time for this, so let's see where it goes. I agree and disagree at the same time. And BJ brought up exactly what I was thinking in the back of my head. The second show is needed soon. Yes, to help get more of these storylines over and help these guys out too. But the second show can't be an afterthought either. It can't just be like, oh, well, we're done with this. Bleh. We go backstage for an interview here. Dasha is supposed to meet up with Kenny Omega, but Kenny has blown off the interview. Kenny, how could you? And then it's Alex Marvez catches up with him outside, and he's out there just saying, hey, Kenny, can we get a quick word with you? And he looks like he's rushing out of the arena. I don't know if he's talking to AEW Games. We're going to talk about that towards the end if you guys want as well. Kenny Omega is out there, and he is doing an interview and says that he's ready for this big matchup with Jon Moxley. He's ready to resume being the Kenny Omega that he used to be because, you know, he brought up the whole slander and everyone's like, oh, you're not the same Kenny Omega from New Japan that everybody kept saying. Makes sense, right? Fair game. And Kenny says that he remembers when he looks in the record books, Moxley's talking like he beat him. And he said, I don't see a loss in my name. Remember, at Full Gear last year, it was a lights out match. It was unsanctioned. Even though they got sued. Shout out to the person who snitched for that. Won't even mention your name. But that was some punk shit you did. And I think he definitely searched his name on Twitter and messaged me. Cool, bro. So the dude who snitched, he's a punk bitch. But Omega's point was that he never officially lost to Moxley. And he's really getting it into his head like he never lost. But Moxley said in his promo earlier he remembers beating Kenny Omega. I thought that this was very well done. And I'm looking forward to this title matchup for December 2nd. Heartbreak Kid Rockstar's right in the cleaner. Yes. And Sean Harrington said he liked the match and thought the finish was clever as well for Scorpio Sky, Sean Spears. I love it, man. And Kenny Omega, good interview. I said this exact thing right after Moxley said he beat Omega. So glad Kenny said it. Hey, facts are facts, and that's what is presented right here. Next up, we have Tay Conti with Anna Jay getting ready to take on Red Velvet with Brandy Rhodes. Don't know why this is all happening like this, but this feels very weird. In all of this, Tay Conti, her focus is excuse me, I shouldn't say Tay, it's Ty. Ty Conti is how they kept pronouncing it. Ty Conti uses her judo background a lot in this. She's flipping Red Velvet over her arms. She does a really good job with some of her moves here. And I don't know. There's something about Ty Conti that I really like. And I know a lot of people, Rockstar came in here and said he enjoyed this matchup. I was in the middle on it. I thought it was cool. Anna Jay tried at one point to slide a chair to Ty Conti, but she did not want to use it. She kicks the chair out, and she ends up eating one of those nice high calf drop kicks from Red Velvet. Dean Malenko, D'Lo Brown-esque, I'll say. And she goes for the pinfall. 1, 2, and during the pinfall, she was stacked up on her head, and Ty Conti figures out a way to get out of this. Ty Conti then hits a pump kick while Red Velvet is on her knees, and this leads to a gory special into like a CM Punk go to sleep knee. 1, 2, 3. Ty Conti gets the win here. Anna Jay seems very happy with it, and the Dark Order is watching, and they kind of just do the symbol and they throw the hands up. Cool. I'm still wondering where the storyline is going. This has been developing very, very slowly. So I wonder when the payoff's going to be for this. This feels like one of those Dynamite, possibly AEW Dark matches. Let me see here. I said the exact same thing. Didn't know they got sued. Conrad versus CC. Who's CC? Update me, Rob. I'm missing out on this. All right. Got me confused. Marvez. Alex Marvez is backstage with the Inner Circle, and Sammy Guevara comes in during the promo here after they're hyping up, we're going to Vegas, baby. And Sammy comes out and says, hey, man, and Jericho's like, hey, where were you? And he was like, I was at the beach. And he was like, oh, no, it said in the ring. And everyone was like, yeah, he sent me the second email that was going to be here tonight. And Sammy said, I never got a second email. And it was like him and MJF were having a stare down. And MJF's like, buddy, I sent you the second email. It just reminds you of some scumbag stuff that happens in offices at work all across the United States. So, yeah, for that shit, fuck off, MJF. Yeah, just what it's gonna be, man. Oh, the snitch. Yeah, I'm not even talking about that, Rob. Rob saw the screenshots from it. I'm not even saying his name. The freaking bullshit here. So Sammy's pissed. It seems like MJF is setting him up to look bad, like he doesn't want him in the Inner Circle. So MJF could be the catalyst to break this thing up. We'll see what happens here. But he gives him his ticket for Vegas and says he'll see him there. So Sammy should be in Las Vegas. We'll see what happens next week. This is already starting to develop of what's going on with the group. The group may disintegrate, and Jericho said it's on me if anything happens. Interesting. The Derek Order versus Team Conrad, who wins. Set up the Survivor Series match, Ace. Set it up. Anna is looking to corrupt Tay, or I said Tay. It's so weird to see it as Tay, and I'm supposed to say Ty. To interrupt Ty Conti and slowly turn her dark, which could work for her or lead to a feud. I like it, Sean. I could get down with that. Sammy is getting kicked out the Inner Circle, Rockstar saying. Malik Murray says, do you think AEW should have a cruiserweight division? And do you see Cody versus MJF at All Out? No, I don't think it's time for a cruiserweight division. And no, I do not think we're going to see Cody versus MJF at All Out. Cruiserweight division puts labels on people, and I don't think it works. That's a big problem to me in WWE. Like, once you have that cruiserweight label, I don't know, it's just hard to get away from it. If you guys don't know, like, look at some of the people like Taka Michinoku and all them who were light heavyweights, and then it's like, oh, he's fighting for the Intercontinental title. You know he's not going to win because that's just not how they're treated. They're already seen as like, oh, he's the guy from the light heavyweight division. Maybe we could put him in a tag, but after that, meh, they kind of give up on you. So it doesn't work. AEW is basically the X division. This is true, Sean. This is true. They have a lot of great wrestlers. So like I said, if you're a great wrestler, you got talent, come on in. These are the championships we have. You don't need all the divisions and trying to separate people from things. Tag division and women's division is more than enough, I think, for a company. Let's run down what we got for next week's card, though, guys. Next week, we're going to have Kip Sabian versus Orange Cassidy. The Young Bucks versus Top Flight. That's going to be, don't sleep on that match. Remember, you heard it here. Don't sleep on it. Cody and Darby versus Cage and Starks was also announced. Fresh off of Tony Khan's desk, apparently. And Inner Circle going to Las Vegas. Next out, here comes Eddie Kingston. He is here to cut a promo talking about his dreams and what happened with Jon Moxley at Full Gear and why he quit in his matchup. Made sense. It wasn't anything crazy, something light. And the main event is Rey Fenix versus Pentagon. Get us some Lucha Underground rematch 2. Phoenix Pentagon 2. And during this matchup here, we kind of see Eddie Kingston on commentary, and he is being blasted by the commentary team for why is this match happening? Why would you allow two brothers to fight each other that are in your group? And Eddie's kind of telling Tony, like, hey, mind your business. Do I have to do your job and sell what's on AEW Shop for you guys and sell the picture-in-picture? Eddie was great on commentary. So Phoenix and Pentagon, when they came out, they also threw up the Death Triangle symbol. If you guys didn't see it, they were out there throwing that up. And during this, I noticed that they both did it, and I was like, oh, something's got to be happening tonight. Phoenix rips Pentagon's mask first, and he just gets jacked. Pentagon ripped Phoenix mask, first, and then Phoenix got Pentagon back. This was a brawl. I'm not even going through move by move because it was nuts. This was a Lucha Underground match at its finest. Very tame, but you know what the movesets are that you're going to expect out of these two. They're brothers. They're great. The Lucha Bros could be in the world title picture like that. So don't sleep on these guys. They were trading headbutts back and forth with the masks ripped open. You could really, at one point, you almost saw like Pentagon's entire face. Just nuts, bro. Headbutts being traded. Phoenix jumps off the top rope and hits that rotating dive. I think he rotated like 3 times. Phoenix is a beast, bro. We see the pile driver done on the apron. Then we get a package pile driver done in the ring. And Eddie Kingston seems gleeful on commentary about it. Phoenix is in the ring. 1, 2, 3. Pentagon gets the win this time. So we had Phoenix get the win the first time, Pentagon the second time. They're 1-1 against each other. Great way to stop this. Now, afterwards, Eddie Kingston gets in the ring and he is running down like, hey, my best friend, Pentagon, listen, when you gonna drop the dead weight, brother? You don't need him. And he's basically putting it over that he doesn't need him. And while he is on the microphone, we get the return of the bastard Pac. Pac is back and JR sells it very well. Pac is looking jacked and he is out there and he's ready to fight Kingston because Eddie Kingston took something that belonged to him and it looks like he's probably going to try and reunite Death Triangle. Eddie Kingston, we then find out, is not cleared to compete because of his match with Jon Moxley. The brutality in the I Quit match, he's not cleared to compete. So next week, Pac is going to return versus the Blade, hot off the presses from Tony Khan. So the Blade, who just got bladed up tonight, versus Pac next week. Should be an interesting turn of events for this one. Let's see here. Sean Harrington says Seidel and Cage is a perfect example of why I said X Division before. There is no need for weight classes. Pac versus the Blade next week. Ace said he sounds excited for that one. BJ said, these two were making me say WTF. It was so intense, did so much disrespectful on their second matchup. They were just tearing masks and just what? I think it was to show the divide that Eddie Kingston has put in there for them. Eddie will have a long career for commentary once he wants to retire from the ring. Big fact, Sean. He can always step into one of those roles. Or it could be like the promo class guy. Eddie Kingston can be filled in a lot of roles. Never knew I wanted an Eddie versus Shivani feud. Yeah, they were going at it on commentary. We need a 2 out of 3 falls between the Lucha Bros, I assume is who he's referring to. I'm down for when they do part 3 of the match. Let's get a 3-man commentary team of Eddie, Jericho, and Tony just yelling at each other, probably BJ, between the Lucha Bros, I mean. Thank you. Rip to the Blade, and Pac is back. Everyone's feeling this, man. And that was it for Dynamite. Live chat. What do you guys think of this show? Was it thumbs up or thumbs down? Let me know how you felt about it below. I thought this was a good show. I think if everybody read into Tony Khan's hype, you're going to probably say, oh, this is kind of what I expected. I think there's more things to come over the next few weeks. I think until the end of the year, Tony was talking about with, we've got some great Dynamites and surprises coming up for you. So give it time. I think it was just, some people were just overblowing it for just tonight. I saw people saying, oh, Ryback's coming back tonight. I was just like, pump the brakes, boys. Pump the brakes on this. A little too soon. Ace, I just saw put the first thumbs up in the chat. I appreciate that, good sir. I agree. I'm going to go thumbs up as well. I have not given a Dynamite show the thumbs down except for maybe one after thinking about it, which was like their 3rd or 4th weekend. Hey Zeus, what's going on, bro? He left the thumbs up. Rockstar said thumbs up. It seems pretty unanimous in the chat right now. Lots of thumbs up. Listen, I can concur. If you guys got questions, now is the time to put them in the chat. I'll answer maybe 1 or 2 tonight, and then we'll get out of this bad boy a little early. BJ just left a thumbs up. Thank you, thank you. Looks like everybody is feeling this one tonight. I can respect it. Here we go, guys. Let's talk AEW Games real quick. AEW Games had their full-blown presentation for what they were doing, and we saw everything that was happening with these games. And I guess we'll start off with the games and what they brought to us. Shout out to Rob. We have the AEW Casino Double or Nothing game. It looks like it's going to be basically a casino game, and you could play like poker, blackjack, many different card games or games that you would find in a casino and win some free AEW merch and stuff. You know what? I'm down. I'm probably going to download that because I like sitting back, chilling, just playing cards and stuff like that. So I'm cool with that. Hopefully, if anyone else in there is or whatever, let me know. I don't know if there's going to be online for it where we could play against each other, but I would be down. So that was the first thing that we got announced. And then we had the All Elite General Manager. This is going to be another mobile game. The All Elite General Manager game looks pretty dope. You set up shows, book people against each other, and do you have what it takes basically to be a general manager in AEW? Everybody says they want GM mode. They love GM mode. This is the wave, bro. This is the wave. So if you guys enjoy that, I think you could definitely have some fun as far as that goes while looking at all of that. Now, I hope that I didn't get rid of these. No, I didn't. There they are. Check out these guys. Nerds. I'm just kidding. They came out with the Steve Jobs look for their set. I just had to show that picture just because I think it's funny. But here's the game. If you guys didn't see any of the screenshots or the trailer from it, I'm pretty sure you all did. But check it out. We got Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega. The body types definitely remind me of a No Mercy-esque type game. And I'm happy to see it, man. It looks really, really, really good. Now, some people, the guys are a little blocky, but that's the No Mercy style. But the transitions and movements that I saw in that trailer looked really fluid. Even the Young Bucks hitting their Meltzer driver at the end looked really good. If you guys haven't seen this 1-minute trailer, I would recommend it. And remember, guys, this is pre-alpha footage. It's not anything finalized. People were doing great. So you see in the trailer, like Jericho and Omega going back and forth. Jericho goes for a Judas effect. Kenny Omega ducks it with the sliding knee. And at one point, he goes to go for the one-wing angel. Jericho gets out. And then when Kenny is going for another move, something happens. Jericho ducks. And then he gets kicked from behind right in the chest by Sheeta. Sheeta absolutely wrecks him. And I didn't even notice this. The way Sheeta hits the ropes is shown in this. Like, she puts both of her elbows back, slides, and hits the running knee. I thought it was good, man. I thought it was really good for this. Impressive, to say the least. to say the least, for this game. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully it's something that I can sink my teeth back into with the wrestling games, because as my fellow XGW brethren will tell you who've been in here, I have been missing wrestling games for quite some time, and I haven't really been into them. I've been into Fire Pro a little bit for the most part. Fire Pro may go down as like a top 10 wrestling game in my opinion. You could argue where it belongs on there, but I think Fire Pro World has been great. But after that, though, I've kind of just been like, dude, we need a wrestling game from one of the big companies that we could actually do something with here, with better graphics and things like that. Fire Pro is great for what it is, but it's still not the graphic enhancement you want. Or are we going to be able to play it on PS5? So this is what's selling the next gen consoles to me. And AEW is going to be available on those next gen consoles. So pretty dope, in my opinion, for what we're going to get for that. Let's see what the chat is asking for questions, then we'll get on out of here, guys. Do you think Pac is babyface now? I'll say yes for right now, but it hasn't fully been confirmed yet. Power did shift. The Inner Circle has a 7-man stable, and Taz is out for Cody's head. Elite GM looks more like 80s Mania wrestling app game, which if you haven't played yet, you should. It's fun. I've seen that before, Sean. This is an early development game regarding the graphics. It's like an all-star game. Ace, I don't think it is. I think it's going to play like a sim, but look like an arcade, if that makes sense. Stick with me on it. I don't think it's all-stars. I think it's more of a No Mercy, Here Comes the Pain type hybrid. So the graphics won't look great, but it's still like arcadey looking, but you're going to get movements that make it feel like it's a sim. Looks like WWE Battlegrounds, people are saying, and it flows well. Gameplay is No Mercy like. Yeah, they had Gaeta-san as part of the group, so he seems like he's going to be leading the charge with Kenny Omega on this. He was the director for the No Mercy games in the past, so I'll take it over crisp graphics than play like crappy like 2K. Yeah, 2K20 deserves all the hate that it gets, man. And I'm happy to see my boy Brian Williams is working on the game. Ukes was announced as the developer for this, so happy to see that. Brian is someone who I want working on any video game. This man is gold. AEW, if you can, if he's ever about to leave, sign him. Pay him big money. I'm telling you, this dude is worth it. Battlegrounds looks like midget wrestling. Terrible. And let me see here. And that was from Sean Harrington. Pac is a bastard. He's whatever he wants to be. True that, guys. Guys, let's end this, man, tonight. I've had a lot of fun talking some pro wrestling with you guys. It's 11:04 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You guys know that we will be back. I have a video recorded for you guys. You will see it come up eventually. I don't know if I'm going to do it around Thanksgiving time or before that, but I have a special video that's going to drop for you guys in a premiere, and you guys will get to see it. It's one that I should have done a long time ago, but I worked on it finally. It's about an hour long, but you guys will definitely enjoy it, and I want to hear your thoughts once it comes out. More on that, though, in the upcoming time frame till we get ready to drop that. But it's already set, done, match, finish. So thank you guys so much for joining us tonight here on this AEW Dynamite review. We will be back next week with another Dynamite review, and I'm looking forward to it. So thank you guys for being elite. Check out AEW Games. Make sure you give them a follow on Twitter and on YouTube. And I'm out, man. Thank you for supporting everything pro wrestling. You guys are the best. We are out. Peace.
Everyday pro wrestling, they can never be you. Listen to the podcast for the people, the best show that's here, so listen in. Let the knowledge begin, the opinions, the lesson, yes. By the fans, for the fans, not many in this can understand, this the podcast to show you who I am, Conrad Cushman, the legend in the plans, please listen every day to the showcase, the opinions and knowledge that anyone can take, showing you how it is done, proving I am number one, what a legend becomes. This is now my time to show you that I am here. This podcast just to make it loud and clear. By the fans, for the fans, not many who's here can understand everything pro wrestling, they can never be you. Listen to the podcast here for the people, the best show that's here, so listen in. Let the knowledge begin, the opinion and the lesson, yes. Everyday pro wrestling, they can never be you. Listen to the podcast for the people, the best show that's here, so listen in. Let the knowledge begin, the opinions, the lesson, yes.
What's going on, EPW Nation? It's your boys from the Everything College Basketball Podcast, Josh and Peyton, here to remind you all that college basketball season is right around the corner. Yes, we finally know it's right around the corner. And Peyton, there's only one place people should go for all the college basketball excitement.
Well, Josh, the only place to find all college basketball hoops all the time is Everything College Basketball. Everything College Basketball can be listened to on several podcast hosting sites like Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. And we can also be found on our Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/Everything College Basketball.
Yes, make sure you are joining the group with a couple other 100 people and growing by the day as we march into year number 3 of the Everything College Basketball networking systems. Now, let's get back to Conrad and Everything Pro Wrestling.
Are you looking for the newest and hottest in the world of pro wrestling? Then check out the amazing action on Powerslam.tv, the biggest indie pro wrestling channel in the world. Get over 6,000 hours of the best events from over 150 of your favorite promotions from 20 different countries around the globe. Brands like Progress Wrestling, Evolve Wrestling, Combat Zone, Defy, PCW Ultra, PWX, Over the Top, Shine, and hundreds of others with fresh content added every day for only $5.99 per month. Get your free trial today at Powerslam.tv.
What's going on, Everything Pro Wrestling listeners? It's your boy Jesse Carter over at the Pro Wrestling Shoot podcast, where we run special interviews with independent wrestlers, also former WWE and TNA stars. Pretty soon we're going to be having the Matt Sydal episode drop, so you need to come and check that out. And you can find us over on anchor.fm/the Pro Wrestling Shoot. Also, we are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere you get your podcasts. The show also covers reviews from old and current events such as pay-per-views, AEW, WWE, whatever you're into nowadays, we will be covering reviews on that. We also have a little bit of music artists join us on the Pro Wrestling Shoot. Also dive into belt collecting and hobbies of all kind. So yeah, as soon as you are finished with everything pro wrestling, why don't you come on over and check it out and tell us what you think. You can follow our Facebook page at the Pro Wrestling Shoot. We are also on Twitter at Carter Inc. That is CARDER INC. Also Instagram at the Pro Wrestling Shoot. You can also find us on YouTube and Twitch. Coming soon, we will be doing live streams of the show on YouTube at the Pro Wrestling Shoot, and same with Twitch at the Pro Wrestling Shoot. All right, Conrad, back to you, and hope you all enjoy the rest of the episode from Everything Pro Wrestling.